Hey everyone, this is Alex with the Nowhere Men. And I want to talk about what happens when you don't have an answer to the question, what do you do? Or who are you? I think this is something that a lot of travelers experience when they get back from traveling, but I think it's something that everyone goes through multiple times throughout their lives. I had an identity of a traveler and an adventurer that I created by quitting my job and traveling the world for 2 years. And it's an amazing identity that I risked a lot to have, and it's a label that I'm proud of. But I haven't been traveling or adventuring for 8 months, and so it doesn't exactly serve me anymore as much as I'd like to keep it. I could say, if you say, "Who are you? What do you do?" I could say, "Well, I'm me." But that doesn't really give you any information about who I am, about what I do, how I spend my time, what I value. And so these labels are important, and the labels that we assign to ourselves are important. Our identities might change for a number of reasons, good and bad. Maybe you get sick, you lose your job, get a new job, have a child, get a lot of money, win the lottery. I don't know. There's a million and one things that could happen. But when we're in a transitory period, it's really tough because when we don't have a label or when we're adjusting to a new one, we don't know exactly how to act, and we don't know kind of what the rules are of this new identity. And so we will often hold on to our old identities because it makes things feel stable, it makes us feel secure, it makes us feel like we know who we are. But if we've changed, that idea will just hold us back and will prevent us from seeing the new opportunities and possibilities ahead of us. And so we've always kind of got to be aware of, am I the person that I'm telling myself I am? Or there's a bunch of birds out here. Or am I someone new? Or should I be someone new? But again, it's tough because when we don't have an identity kind of gives us a limit, makes us feel whole and complete in a confined and defined way. When we don't have an identity, it's kind of like we are an oil spill. We're just kind of spreading and spreading with nothing to contain it, and eventually we're spread so thin that it seems like people see right through us when we don't feel like we are a complete person. And so we want an identity to kind of say, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I stand for. I'm in that process now, and I'll be finding a new identity, creating a new one, holding on to something new. And eventually that will not serve me anymore, and I'll have to let that go, and it will die, and I'll bury it, and it will serve as fertilizer for what comes next. And this will continue happening for the rest of my life and for the rest of your life. And the more that we can become aware of these changes and accept them, the more opportunity and possibility we have in our lives. Because what happens when we're in one of these processes of change is that we feel like we're kind of floating down a river, and the river's rushing fast. And we want to get out of it. We feel like, we're scared. And so you want to reach for something that will help you define who you are, whatever it is. But if we only grab the first thing that we see, it may not be the best for us. And so what we want to do is kind of be calm and intentional and understand that we're going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen to us. And if we can choose who we want to be, then we have a level of control over our lives that is really, it creates a lot of possibility. And so right now, I want you to keep an eye out for the Nowhere Men, because we are going through one of these changes right now, redefining who we are. And we're going to be coming out with a lot of awesome stuff in 2017 and beyond. So that's it, and have a good cold day.